Hello, everyone. I'm Lisa. I am just here to show you how to dip with Dipsy Dip. I'm going to put my website in the comments so then that way, if you guys want to look at anything, you can just click on it. I will give people a few minutes to see if anyone wants to hop on, if anyone is available. Doesn't look like anyone's available. So I am going to start at the very beginning to give you guys a really good, thorough way of learning how to use Dipsy Dip. Now, in each kit, will have everything that you will need to dip your nails, and it will also come with step-by-step instructions. So I'm going to go through each step and explain what you need to do. And if you do pop on, let me know so I know you're on. The first thing is nail prep. Now, any kind of manicure that you're going to do, you need to prep your nails for. And the reason why you need to prep your nails is because you need to remove any invisible cuticle on each side of your nail, and you need to push your cuticle back off of your nail. So, in two of the kits, it comes with a cuticle pusher, but you can use any one that you have already. We do have recyclable ones, or you can just order these two are pretty cheap too. Um, so with nail prep, all you're going to do is I'll put the camera down so you can see better. All you're going to do is push back your cuticles, and then you are going to remove the invisible cuticle on each side, and then just go all the way around your nail and remove. What it is just skin that has grown onto your fingernail, and that's all you're removing. And the reason why you want to remove it is because if you put dip or anything on top of it, you will get chipping or peeling of your nail because it's not actually on your nail, it would be on the skin. So you just go through each nail and you push your cuticles back and then clean up each side. And then I do want to tell you about what else I do use. Now you don't have to use this, but I do have cuticle remover, and it's just this is the brand name is Sally Hansen. You can use any cuticle remover, and with this, all you need to do is you just take a small dab of it and put it on your fingernail, and then rub it into your nail, and it actually removes the cuticle. So it just makes it a lot easier. So you put that on there and then push your cuticle back and then remove it. So it just makes it a little bit easier, but you can definitely do your prep care without cuticle remover, but it does make it easier. And so I'll do my thumb the same way, and I'll use the cuticle remover with this one just because it's easier. And you can buy that cuticle remover anywhere, Walmart, Target, or Amazon. I think it's like $3, $3 or $4 or so. And it can be any brand name. I just don't really see a lot of brand names out there. So that's just the one that I have. So I'm just going around my cuticle line, making sure I remove all that dead skin. And they call it your invisible cuticle on the sides of your nails because you cannot see it. So it doesn't look like you have any there, but you do. And it does grow back fast. So before you do any manicure, you need to do this first. And so that is all for prep care. It's pretty easy. And then after that, you'll need to either wash your hands with Dawn soap or use an alcohol wipe. I'm just going to use an alcohol wipe since I'm videoing this, so I don't have to get up and do that. So all I'm going to do is just clean each nail. So it's ready to go. And you can buff or file the top of your nails, but you do not have to. I choose not to do that normally. Sometimes I will buff a little bit. Um, but if you're having issues, you can always do that too. So the first step is the nail primer, and it has number 1 on it. So all you're going to do with the nail primer is you're going to put it on each nail. So super easy step, just each nail, put this on. And the nail primer, what it does is it absorbs the oils, or any like chemicals or like lotions or anything that you have on your fingernail that didn't get washed off. This removes, so that way it makes the surface ready to have dip stick to it really good. So then you just let this dry for a few seconds here, and I'll get my dip ready. These are the dip containers. They come in 20 grams. The colors do. You want to make sure and shake it up. This is a brand new dip that I just opened. So they come pretty full. It's like filled to the brim. And sometimes like the powder is really packed in them. So I also like to stir it up a little bit. So I just take my cuticle pusher or anything you can use just to stir it up because you want the powder to be kind of loosened so it doesn't clump up on your nail when you go to dip it. Okay, so now we are on to step 2. And step 2 is the base coat. So all you're going to do is put a nice thin coat, a base coat on each nail and then dip. The base coat is the glue that gets the powder to stick to your fingernail. And then in the base coat and the top coat, there's a gasket inside that you're gonna kind of like wring the brush out a little bit to get some of the excess off of it. And you're not going to use the top of the lid. If you get it on the top of the lid, you can remove it with some alcohol, but just don't get the alcohol inside of there because it will contaminate the bottle. Otherwise, if you get a lot of this on the outside, it will glue the lid shut, which you can get off, but just to avoid it, just don't use the top rim. So first off, I'm just going to take my brush and I'm going to brush on the base coat. Now I'm going to try not to get it on my skin on either side and then right up to my cuticle, but not touching my cuticle. And if you do it on your side of your skin, it's okay. No big deal. You can fix it later. So then I'm going to take my fingernail and I'm going to dip at a 45-degree angle. So in and out, and then shake it off a little bit. I usually tap it a little bit here. And then I'm going to dip one more time just to make sure that it's all dry. And shake it off. And there's one dip so far. So the good thing that makes this easier than painting your nails, because if you miss a spot, the next time you go around, you just cover that spot and dip it, and no one will know that you missed a spot. So I'm going to do the same thing again on this finger. I'm going to just make a nice thin coat. It does help to start in the middle, one down, and then one on each side of your nail. I usually kind of just wipe it just in case I get it on my fingernail, on my skin. I'm going to dip at a 45-degree angle and then shake it off, and then dip again at a 45-degree angle and shake it off. And there we go. This color is gorgeous. I absolutely love it. A lot of times that I will do like an accent nail. Today I just really wanted to do all one color, so I just really like this color. So I'm going to do the same thing again. Dip it in and dip it out. Pull it out. And I do use this paper muffin holder because then all the powder that falls out, I can just put right back into the container when I'm finished. And it's a lot less mess to clean up when you're finished too. And I'm only going to do one hand today, so that way we can concentrate on learning the steps and just the process of how it works. Dip in again at a 45-degree angle. And I'm going to go again. It looks like it all got absorbed, but just in case it didn't. And here I'm going to go on my thumb fingernail and do a coat down the middle and a line on each side, avoiding my skin. And I'm going to dip again. Oops, I didn't get all the way in, which is no big deal. I'll just push it in more. So it's kind of hard, so the powder is kind of packed in there again. So I'm going to go ahead and stir this up again. There's just not enough room for all the powder they put in these. And these powders will last you a really long time. I don't even know that I'll ever have to replace them, and I dip all the time. So there we have it. I'm going to take my Kubaki brush. A smaller one does come in your kit, which I have somewhere laying around here, but I'm just going to use this one today since this is what I have out. And you're just going to brush your nail powder off of your nail. And I also make sure and get the back side because you'll get powder on the back side of your hands too. Super easy to do. You just want to make sure you brush it all off. You don't want to get powder in your base coat because that will ruin it. Yeah, you'll get some here and there, but it's when you get a lot in there, then it can ruin it. So I'm going to do the same thing again. I'm going to make sure I get covered the areas that I missed the first time around. Make sure I get them really good. I'm going to put a little bit more on this tip here. And then I'm just going to dip in here, 45-degree angle and out. And the reason why we dip at a 45-degree angle is because you don't want to get clumps on your fingernail. And if you do get a clump on it, which it will happen, it can happen, you'll just file and buff it when we're all done off. And if you guys have any questions, just let me know and I will answer them. I have been using this product since the end of August and I absolutely love it. I've tried other products in the past and have not had good results. And the first time that I did use it, I was like, I messed up and I was like, oh, there's no way that these are going to turn out. And then they did. So that was really exciting. It is a learning process. The first time you do it, you will probably think those same thoughts that it's not going to work, and then it does. And then the second time, a lot of people they're like, oh, I know what I did. Okay, so this time do this. And also, if you have questions, I'm available to help you with any of it or any process that you need help on or any issues I can help you with. Now see, this one's a little shiny, so that means it might be the base coat might be a little wet, so I'm just going to dip it in one more time. You don't want to use your Kubaki brush on it if it's shiny and it looks like it might be a little wet, because then it will get sticky on your Kubaki brush. So same thing again, I'm going to put my base coat on this fingernail. Any place that I missed, I'm going to make sure I get. And I'm going to dip at a 45-degree angle again. I'm getting powder everywhere, it looks like. And now I dip 3 times each time. You can dip 2 times, but if your dips are too thin, that's when you can get cracking. That's usually the cause of cracking. Or if your fingernails are really thin, that can cause your nails to crack, your dips to crack too. I did trim my fingernails down quite a bit tonight. They seem to grow really fast when I have these dips on. which my fingernails did not ever grow before. I would usually have to get tips put on if I wanted longer fingernails. It's good. It's just so packed in there, so that's why I'm stirring again. Okay, well there's two dips, which it looks to be covered really good actually, with just the two of them. And the more dips, you might get a little bit darker of a pigment in color as well. And I'm just brushing off the excess powder on the front and the back of my hands. And I'm going to stir this just to start, so because it gets packed in there. All right, third dip. I'm going to go in again at a 45-degree angle and tap, tap, tap. It does kind of help to use your other hand to like tap off the excess powder too. And a lot of this is like personal preference. If you do like your nails really thick, you can always just dip more times. I'm going to go ahead and do that one more time. It looked wet. If it's shiny, it might be still wet. They all look so good. I'm like, oh, did I already dip that one a third time? Because honestly, I think this dip I probably could just get away with only doing 2 times. And I'm tapping it off. I always have to put my thumb down on the table and make it stable. Otherwise I'll shake or something. So I'm just making sure I get up to the skin, which I just got it on my skin of my cuticle. So I'm going to make sure and wipe it off. Wherever you get the base coat, the powder will stick. If you do get on your skin, no worries, because you can always get it off. And sometimes I take out some dip and put it in another container too, because they really are packed super full in here. That one looks like it needs a little bit more. Okay, well there's 3 dips, which this dip worked really, really good. I'm gonna brush off the powder. I have a trash can over here, that's why I'm kind of doing it on this side over here. I'm just brushing it all off. All right, so now we're on to step 3. And step 3 is the activator. Step 3 is what is going to make the base coat and the powder work together, and it's going to harden those two together. Now these won't be as hard as like acrylic nails, but they'll be more durable than like shellac nails. And the benefit of having dip nails is they don't, chip as easily as shellac. And the biggie is you don't have to use a light. I know there's some people that, won't do shellac because of the light. So this eliminates that, so that's awesome. And so with these colors that are darker, sometimes you'll get a little bit of it on there. And so you can just wipe your brush on a lint-free pad or a paper towel so it doesn't color your activator. And so all you can do is just, put some on there and then wipe it off so then your brush is clean again. So that here we are. We did our primer, our prep. We pushed the cuticles back. We cleaned the invisible cuticle. Then we did our nail primer, which removes the oils and any kind of fragrance or any kind of lotion that you have on your nails to dry them a little bit. And then we also did our base coat and then dip, and we did that 3 times total. And now we did our activator, step 3. So after the activator, we wait about 3 minutes for the activator to harden your nail, and you can kind of tap to hear if it's ready or not. And then as soon as it's ready, we will file and shape them how we want. I think they're pretty good the way I have them. And then I usually file on each side and then all the way around, and then I buff the top of my nails to make sure that they're nice and smooth. And that's where, like, if you do have a dip that kind of got lumpy on your nail, you can just buff it smooth, and that works really good. So, yes, this color is gorgeous. It's really pretty. It's super bright and ready for summer. I can't wait for hot weather. And then, so after we are done with buffing, shaping, then we do one more activator. And then after that, we wait for that to dry for a few minutes, and then we put on our top coat. So we'll go through all the steps. So your kit will come with a curved nail file. Now this side is more coarse, and the side that says Dipsy Dip is not as coarse, so it's smoother. And when you get this, you can just use another nail file, anyone that you have laying around, or if you get the Fanatic or the Big Dipper, it'll come with another file too. And you can file the sides off so that way they don't cut you. So you can file each of the 4 sides on here so you're not cutting yourself. And the benefit with the curved file is it easily goes around your nail when you're filing. And so as soon as these are dry, we can go ahead and do that. And then the buffer comes with all the kits too. So even with the starter kit, the $65 kit, it comes with everything that you need to dip your nails. So you'll be set with any of the kits. I love how they offer the kits so you don't have to go and pick and choose what you need just to dip your nails to get started. So it makes it really easy. And then the best part is after you get a kit, the dips themselves for the 20 grams is only $13.50, and the glitters are $8.50. So they're very affordable for the amount of manicures that you get per each container. I think we're getting there. I can get started here. So I'm just going to take the lighter side, and I'm going to file on each side of my nail to make sure that that's all really smooth. And then I'm going to go around to make sure that my cuticle is nice and rounded. You want your nails to look like you just walked out of a salon, and if you've had your nails done a lot, you've watched them kind of do what they do, and it's very similar to that. I kind of like to file just a little bit at the top so it's a little bit flatter up top so it doesn't look like a big lump right in between your nail bed. And I did dip these 3 times so they're nice and thick, so it's okay if I file more. And that's another reason why I do like to dip the 3 times instead of two, because then that way I can make sure and file each nail so it looks natural. And sometimes I tend to overfile, which most people do not do that, which is not a good thing that I do. So that one looks good. So I'm going to go to the next one. So I just file on each side of my nail and make sure that it's straight. And then, you know, you want your nails to kind of look like a curve, like a C curve is kind of what they say. And then I'm going to file the top here, make sure that it's nice and rounded. And this is when you would make sure that it's the shape that you want it to be. I usually do a little bit of a square rounded look. And if you like tips, we definitely have tips. The tips are 100 for $5, and then the nail glue is $1 for a bottle of it, so they're very affordable. And with the nail tips, they come in different kinds. I do think I like the clear ones the best because it has a line on there exactly where to glue the tip. And then all you would do with that is just buff it down or file it down a little bit on the top after you glue it on. And there's a line on there that tells you exactly where to glue it on. And then just buff it so it's flat, smooth with your fingernail. And then you just dip like normal. So I'm just making sure this is all even. And then I did get this dip on a little thick, which is not a big deal because you can always file more if it's too thick for you. And I've always been a really big perfectionist with my fingernails. So for me, going to a salon was always stressful if I didn't get the right person because if there was something messed up, I would just like focus on that, and that's all I would notice is that one nail, you know, and I would wear this way when since I'm doing them, I can fix it. Now that I know how to. I did not have any nail experience before Dipsy Dip. I really just dove right in. I just love it so much that I just wanted to learn everything about it and how to do it. And it's just a lot of fun and it's really relaxing to do your own nails. And it's also self-rewarding to like be like, oh my gosh, I did this myself. And then dipping gets addicting. You can't wait to dip again after you're finished because it's so much fun. All right, these are looking really good. I'm just making them straight. I'm just filing it down on the rim so it looks like it's natural. When you have tips and have to take off the color while using the acetone, also remove the tips. Yes, they will. It will just melt the tips too. Another thing is that you can. I only use tips in the beginning because my nails just wouldn't grow. But now I don't use tips because now they grow fast. But I would dip clear dip underneath them, 1 or 2 dips of clear dip, and then the color, and then you just have to file off the color, and then you can redip. But you do not have to do that. You do not have to do that. I didn't do that originally until I actually ordered the clear dip. And you can also like feel like you can do fills with them too and with your nails. If you're going to keep the same color, you can just file down and then do push your cuticles back and then re-dip them. So you don't have to remove them all the way. And I've done that plenty of times if I just want them to be look fresh, new again. And I don't have time to, remove them and do them all over again. All right, so we got them all filed. So now I'm just going to take my buffer and I'm going to buff the tops of them. Make sure that they're nice and smooth. Did I answer your question, Rebecca? Do you have any other questions? And I just buff the top and make sure that, the sides are nice and smooth and then the top is smooth. This color is fabulous. For those of you who have just tuned in, this is Aloha. Oh, good. I'm so glad. Thank you, Rebecca. I'm glad I answered correctly there, or answered your questions. And I did want to talk about matte. It sounds like a lot of you girls love matte finish. So we do have the matte top coat, and you do the same process. You still use our top coat that comes in the kits that makes it shiny. And then all you would do after that is put the matte top coat on top of the top coat. Now, I have also done where I have to get a matte finish if you don't have the matte coat, because that's been newer, a newer addition. I think it's only like a couple months old, if that. Um, I had before that I had put the top coat on and then I have buffed it, and then I would get the matte look. Now, I can't guarantee that, it's going to protect your nail as well as if you had the matte coat with the top coat and then with the matte coat, but you can still get that look if you don't have the matte um, finish. And when I had done that, I actually got a ton of compliments on my nails when I had them matte, when I just, before our matte came out. So it definitely looked like matte. And it did last for the time period that I had them. I probably had them like that for a week. Actually, I need to stop because they actually look really, really good. I don't want to mess them up. I have a tendency of going overboard when I'm filing and buffing. And a lot of times less is better. Okay, so now I am finished with that. So I am going to take an alcohol wipe and wipe all my nails. It's basically just to get the dust off. You can also just wash your hands with Dawn soap, and that will clean them too. But I'm just gonna sit here with you girls and while I do my nails. Oops, I didn't get this one on this side here. Very good. But okay, so now you're gonna repeat step 3. So step 3, I'm just going to put this on generously on each nail. Super easy. I would say the most time-consuming step, well, is waiting for the activator to dry, but then the most consuming step is probably just filing and buffing. Some people don't really do much of that at all. I tend to do too much, so if you can just somehow get right in the middle of that, um, it's perfect. So here we go. So I have my activator on, so I need to wait the 3 minutes. After the 3 minutes is up, then I can put my top coat on. Now, it's so important to wait the full 3 minutes because if you put your top coat on and the activator is not dry, you can contaminate your top coat. So since we have the extra time here while I'm waiting for this to dry, I can talk about bottle care. So after you're done using your liquids, we do have the brush care. I honestly do not use the brush care regularly. I only use it if my brushes start feeling, if they get kind of thick, which it takes quite a while for that to happen, then I will use it. The only bottles that you need to take care of are steps 2 and 4. They're both sticky and like glue-like. The top coat I have used to dip my fingernails, not on purpose. I accidentally used it and it does work too. Even the owners have said that you can dip with the top coat if you run out of base coat. So it works, but you should use the base coat if you have it. So with bottle care, um, you can just, so take the brush out and just take an alcohol wipe. Oops, I keep going on that side because I always have my alcohol on the other side. And then just wipe around the bottle like this. And that will prevent any sticking from your brush. I would not necessarily wipe on top of this because you do not want to get any alcohol inside of there. And then just put the brush on. And you can also use a little bit of cuticle oil. I don't have any on hand, that the brush kind that comes in 2 of our kits if it is sticky around the rim of it. Otherwise, that's about it. Now, if your brush gets goopy, that is when you would use your step 5, which is the brush saver, and that comes in the kits. And what you would do is you would take this brush out, and you can rinse this with water, and then you'll need to let it sit out and dry. And these brushes just pop out, and then you can set it out and dry. And then you can take your brush from this liquid and then wipe off all of the base coat on it and then put it in there. And then once this brush that you cleaned and then have set out is dry, you would just put it into your base coat, and then you would have to wait like an hour or so, and then your brush will be ready to use again. Or you can just buy a 5-pack of brushes, and I think they're about 75 cents each, and just switch out your brushes. That's kind of what I tend to do most of the time, but you can use this too, it does work. And I did post a really good video on bottle care. If you guys want to watch that, if you have more questions about it. Do any of you guys have any questions? I see a couple more people might have popped on that weren't on earlier. We've gone through all the nail steps and we're just getting ready to use our top coat, step number 4, which is the last step. And they're already super shiny. And for removal, use 100% acetone. It can be any brand. This is what I have. It's just Onyx 100% acetone remover in the clear white bottle. No, they're not tacky at all. Nope, the activator is just really thin. It's just thin and dries. Just two top coats. So I do a top coat and then wait about a minute and then do the second top coat. And then I usually wait a good, like 3 to 4 minutes before I do anything with my fingernails. I don't know if it's just habit from if I paint them or whatever, but I just wait because I don't want to mess them up. If you want to do everything really fast and you can do these really quick and be done, or you can take your time. Everyone is so different with how they do their nails or how they prefer. I actually like to take my time and do my nails because I do enjoy it. It's relaxing. Okay, so now I'm going to do the top coat. The same thing with the top coat. It has that gasket on the inside, and then you just, get some of it off on the inside. Try not to use the rim, which you can see I have. I do get it on there, but I can just wipe it. Yes, it does dry fast. So I'm just going to put a thin top coat on. I suggest just going one on the middle and one on each side. My kid just walked in, sorry guys. So I'm just putting the top coat on. This makes it all shiny and pretty. This color is so cool. Amber, what color has been your favorite so far? And so here's the first top coat. And then I just wait, it says 30 seconds, but I usually wait a minute. I tend to do everything a little bit extra. Oh yes, Show Me the Money is a great silver and Unicorn Horn is a gold. I love Unicorn Horn because it's like kind of a faint gold. It's gold, but it's not like, um, I don't know. I do really love Unicorn Horn too. And of course, Show Me the Money, which I haven't used those for a while. I've been doing some different things lately, so. And glitters go on super easy. And I don't know, they're just really easy because if you can't see any mistakes or anything, you barely have to file or buff. And yes, they go with those silver and the gold to go with everything. I do think it's great to choose a silver or gold. If you're more a gold person, pick a gold. If you're more silver, go with a silver to start too with the glitters because you can wear them with everything. And then I suggest getting your favorite color and glitter. I think it's kind of good too, like, getting a variety of colors. I know when I bought my kit, I tried to like get colors that all matched, but then I didn't have a variety to start, which is good, which is fine too, because I still liked all the colors I got. But I think it's kind of cool when you get like a blue, a green, pink, and a silver. All right, so I'm going to do my second top coat. Super easy. And then they're even more shiny with the second coat. So that is the finished product. Um, yes, you need more variety. Yes, it's fun to have variety. Um, so, and then after this, when this is dry, I'll just put cuticle oil on my fingernails, and all I do is just put a dab on each one and then just rub it in. Is there anyone, do you guys have any other questions? If you do, just comment or you can post in Amber's party or you can message me privately too. I'll answer anything, any questions. I love to help or talk about nails. So just let me know if you have any questions. And also, you can ask Amber too, because she knows about Dipsy Dip now too. And she's been loving it. So cute to see her daughter's nails too. Thank you. It's really cute, isn't it? It's called Aloha for any of you guys that are interested in this color. It's one of our newer colors along with the Flirty Flamingo. I have a hard time deciding between these bright colors because I love all the fluorescence. They're so pretty. So that is it. I hope you guys learned something and just let me know if you have any questions and I hope you all have a wonderful night. Thank you. Bye.